Hello everyone and welcome to my General Hospital Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, April 3rd, show that Jack Brennan will have a key question for Carly Spencer, while Jocelyn Jack smells trouble. In addition, a furious Drew Kane believes Portia Robinson will make a mistake. Lucas Jones will make an admission in Metro Court that will cement his new relationship with Marco Rios. Carly may see the close encounter because she will be near Brennan. Speaking of Brennan, he'll ask a question that could impact his future with Carly. Brennan will explain something and ask Carly if she can live with it. Perhaps Brennan is referring to the secrets of his job, or the ongoing criticism they will experience in their romance. In any case, Carly may reassure Brennan that she is willing to follow this through. Carly will then corner Lucas and conduct an interrogation. There's a good probability Carly will want to learn more about attractive Marco, so she might start making predictions about new love. Marco, on the other hand, will most likely keep his family connections in Port Charles a secret from Lucas. It appears that Marco is Jen Sidwell's son with Natalia Ramirez, so keep an eye out for his eventual return to Spoon Island. Jason Morgan and Sasha Gilmore Corbin will have a serious baby-related talk. As Sasha and Jason work out the terms of their ongoing relationship, they will become closer. At Windmere, Sidwell will deflect any allegations leveled by Sonny Corinthos. Sonny may assume Sidwell sent Salisky after him since the hitman had African ties, but Sidwell will not accept responsibility. Instead, Sidwell will continue to pretend he is this fantastic guy of compassion, suggesting that he could assist Sonny in determining who blew up the penthouse. Despite Sidwell's appeal to use his resources for Sonny's benefit, the mob boss may say he's not interested. Of course, Natalia will most likely be hiding somewhere, while Sonny investigates whether Sidwell is guilty. Meanwhile, Jocelyn will face some doubts when Vaughn guides her away from the WSB training facility. Although Jocelyn may be concerned that trouble is looming, this should be a pleasant surprise instead. Vaughn and Jocelyn appear to be heading to a little cafe, as that is where they will be hanging out on Thursday's episode. Vaughn may believe Jocelyn deserves some break, as she awaits the outcome of her final training exercises. However, if Jocelyn is required to observe other guests and assess her surroundings, Vaughn may be able to use this outing as a learning opportunity. At GH, Portia will make a bold move. When Portia plays with fire by going up against Drew, he warns her that she could be burned. Drew will make it plain that if Portia does not cooperate, he would destroy her world, so she will have to deal with his rage and worry about what comes next. Curtis Ashford will have his own concerns when he receives updates on Drew's news regarding Kai Taylor. Although Kai will be tempted to accept Drew's offer to pay for his cutting-edge surgery, is this a wise idea? According to General Hospital teasers, Curtis will once again raise concerns about Drew's dark side, leaving Kai to determine whether this is worth the risk. General Hospital spoilers indicate that Sonny Corinthos may not be able to avoid the next attack. Sonny's adversary may respond with terrible consequences, so evaluate how things might unfold. Now that Salisky has passed away, it will only be a matter of time before his client receives an update. Jason Morgan noted that the person who hired Salisky would simply find someone else to finish the task. Of course, Sonny intends to have Brick dig around on Salisky's devices. The goal is to find out who is after Sonny, but he is delaying surgery and putting himself in danger. With that postponed heart treatment and Sonny's determined foe, there are valid reasons to be concerned about what lies ahead. The mystery person responsible for the penthouse attack could hire another hitman and make another attempt on Sonny's life as soon as possible. No matter how Sonny is targeted this time, he is likely to face difficulty. Sonny could be in terrible danger, and Jason Morgan may not be able to save him. It's easy to envision Sonny getting wounded, exacerbating his heart difficulties. Even if Sonny survives the event, the stress may be too much for his heart to bear. Jason attempted to persuade Sonny that if he died as a result of his postponed surgery, he would just be doing his enemy's bidding. Despite Jason's concerns about what lies ahead, Sonny appears to believe he is invincible, and may pay the price for it. It's evident that Sonny isn't prioritizing his health, thus there will be consequences. Of course, Sonny will survive whatever is thrown at him, but his family may experience some scary moments in the meanwhile. When Sonny's adversary pursues him again, It could set off a disastrous chain reaction that leaves him hospitalized and trying to survive. Sonny had hoped to have the heart operation out of town and keep things private, but there may not be time in the end. Sonny's operation may become an emergency, and he may have it performed right there in the new Dr. Monica Quartermaine Cardiac Center at GH General Hospital. Spoilers and recaps for Tuesday, April 1st indicate that the episode focused on memories, friendships, and commemorating the soap's legacy as it marks 62 years on the air, honoring Monica Quartermaine. The show focused on the opening of the new Monica Quartermaine Cardiac Care Center and Atrium. Monica was unable to attend owing to respiratory concerns, but she was clearly on everyone's thoughts. Friendship was everywhere. According to General Hospital spoilers, old friends reunited during the episode airing Tuesday, April 1st. Alexis Davis and Curtis Ashford talked after an AA meeting, and Max Scorpio and Anna Devane enjoyed a moment. Furthermore, Sonny Corinthos and Laura Collins shared a moment to reflect on the significance of General Hospital. Sonny also spoke with Anna about Stone's death from HIV, and how Robin Scorpio is fortunate to be able to continue living a productive life. Anna was heartbroken not to be present when Robin revealed she was HIV positive at the nurses' ball, and Sonny remarked it was a pleasure to support her. Maxie Jones even sent treat bags full with deception items for the nurses in attendance, as recognition of their everyday contributions to the hospital. The Memorial Wall. The Memorial Wall is a popular hallway at General Hospital, especially on days like today. Carly Spencer took her daughter, Donna Corinthos, to see Bobby Spencer's photo, and Felicia Scorpio accompanied them. They talked about Bobby's contributions to the hospital, and her importance in both of their lives. Tracy Quartermaine was enjoying a peaceful moment near the Memorial Wall when Stella Henry joined her. They discussed the Quartermaine family's efforts, as well as how Alan Quartermaine and Monica left the hospital in excellent condition. According to General Hospital spoilers, the cardiac center was funded by an unidentified donor, subsequently identified as Sonny Corinthos. Alexis ran into him in the corridor and complimented his contribution. She only recognized him because she had accidentally seen the documents. Alexis also ran into Laura, who wasn't sure how to react. She acknowledged Alexis' conversation with Lulu Spencer, and admitted to struggling with what to say. Alexis advised Laura not to feel guilty, and instead focus on Sam's positive deeds and the love she shared. Lulu living as Sam dying were two completely different situations, and Laura should never feel terrible about it. The two exchanged hugs before walking away. Sonny also entered the chapel to see Carly already present. They exchanged memories of all the times they had been in that location, praying for assistance. Carly stated that despite the agony that occurs within the hospital walls, she still sees it as a place of hope. Tuesday, April 1st, 2025. Across town, Lucy Coe decided to pay Jen Sidwell a visit and tell him all about the General Hospital Nurses' Ball. She guides him through the sparkle and splendor of the past, concluding with how poignant it has been for her. She explains him about how it benefits HIV+ people, and then asks if he'd like to donate to help fund this year's event. Sidwell promises to foot the bill for the entire event on one condition, which she accepts. The two then go to the Heart Center function, where Lucy announces that Sidwell will sponsor the 2025 Nurses' Ball. Valentine, formerly a buddy, would have died at Brennan's hands if all had gone as planned. Fatal attractions? Brennan is completely in love with Carly, and anyone who undermines their connection risks terrible consequences. Jason is expected to intensify his efforts to separate Carly and Brennan, especially when Brennan's dark truths emerge. While Carly believed she was acting in Brennan's best interests by informing him of Jason's frightening conduct, her decision to reveal that knowledge may be disastrous. Brennan may already be planning his strategy for Jason, and any means necessary to erase him from their lives. However, Carly would never forgive Brennan if he turned Jason into a dangerous target, so he must proceed with caution and keep this in mind. Brennan might set up a diversion to make it look like Jason was the victim of a mob hit. Brennan may eventually attempt to kill Jason, staging the incident to make it appear that a rival mafia was behind the attack. While Jason is likely to survive whatever Brennan has planned, he may still face hidden threats. Future spoilers reveal that the conflict between Jason and Brennan is just getting started, implying that more terrifying threats and unsettling forecasts are on the way as the story progresses. But Brennan should not expect to be the #1 suspect if Jason is apprehended. After all, Jason is pals with Anna Devane. General Hospital spoilers and updates for Wednesday, April 2nd include important questions, angry warnings, and concerned besties. Gio Palmieri has important inquiries, Sasha Corbin issues stern warnings, and Jason Morgan is frightened about his best friend. Crucial questions. Gio has urgent questions for Emma Scorpio Drake as they wait outside a courtroom door, questioning why she did it knowing she had a record. He must be referring to Emma's famous act of civil disobedience, in which she chained herself to the Quartermaine crypt in support of Tracy Quartermaine. Meanwhile, Councilman Ezra Boyle, along with the corrupt Congressman Drew Quartermaine, aka Drew Kane, had bulldozers poised to obliterate the crypt and its inmates. Drew insisted that Boyle take whatever steps were necessary to guarantee the destruction went ahead. Both Emma and Tracy are now facing legal accusations, and it appears that these difficulties are far from over. Anna supports Anna Devane, her granddaughter, arrives to the courts and appears to be distressed with someone, either Ezra, Drew, or the prosecutor. She confronts this person, implying that their motivation for targeting her granddaughter is related to a personal issue they have with her. Naturally, Anna is present in court, especially because Emma's case is on the schedule. Will she be able to clarify the matter, or is the prosecution prepared to take a hard stance? Job interview at Diane and Alexis offices. Diane Miller is midway through a job interview at Davis Miller Law when she discovers something fishy on the candidate's resume. She inquires as to who else is aware of the situation. Diane and Alexis Davis recently discussed the prospect of hiring a new partner. Could this candidate be vying for that position? The applicant looks to be looking for a partnership rather than a position as a secretary, receptionist, or paralegal. While a candidate's background may be less important in those roles, a legal partner's experience may have a substantial impact on the outcome of a case. Tracy disapproves of Brooke Lynn Chase's apparent disagreement with Maxie Jones. Could they be holding a meeting regarding Deception Cosmetics? Regardless, Maxie gives a suspicious look, and Brooke Lynn shows her dissatisfaction, saying, "Doesn't this bother anyone else?" It's conceivable she's furious about the nurse's ball donor, especially since Tracy informed them that Jen Sidwell is sponsoring the entire event. Alternatively, it may be the manner in which the announcement was made. Perhaps they're talking about Lucy Coe interrupting the cardiac wing ceremony? Angry warnings. Sasha appears to be at Windmere when she gives a harsh warning to Sidwell, stating unequivocally that her willingness to help him for financial gain is limited. What precisely is Sidwell attempting to get Sasha to accomplish for him? Given that he previously kidnapped her, why is she even speaking with him? While his actions may appear harsh, they originate from the fact that her mother, Holly Sutton, snatched his gems. What scheme is Sidwell working on right now, and what does Sasha find unacceptable? Bedroom meeting. Meanwhile, Carly Spencer and Jack Brennan look to be in sync, as they have a moment in bed. Carly expresses anxiety that they will not be able to sustain this closeness for long. Surprisingly, Jack may come to agree with her. What covert activities or WSB obligations might Jack be participating in that he cannot disclose with Carly? Will Carly continue to believe all he says without question? Worried besties. Jason is genuinely concerned about Carly's blind faith in Brennan, which has caused a schism between him and her when she refused to quit their connection. His fear prompts him to visit Carly's brother, Lucas Jones, at the hospital. When Lucas asks how he can help, Jason just says, "It's Carly." This statement quickly draws Lucas' attention and support, since he shares Jason's skepticism of Brennan, and is irritated that Carly is also refusing to follow his warnings. Lucas had offered his sister the same warning regarding blind confidence in someone she couldn't check out. Sidwell's offer for Sunny Drew's raging threat. Sasha confesses to Jason. The tension in Port Charles reached a boiling point as powerful forces collided, secrets were exposed, and long-simmering grudges erupted into open conflict. At the center of it all was Sonny Corinthos, a man whose empire had withstood countless threats, but none quite like the one now posed by the ruthless businessman Sidwell. Meanwhile, Drew Kane's simmering anger exploded into a full-blown rage, threatening to upend alliances and ignite a dangerous feud. And in a moment of raw vulnerability, Sasha Gilmore made a shocking confession to Jason Morgan, one that could change everything. Sonny Corinthos had spent years building his empire, navigating betrayals, rival mobsters, and even his own personal demons. General Hospital spoilers for Friday, April 4th state that Ava Jerome will implore Rick Lansing to wake up, while Carly Spencer will make a plea to Jason Morgan. Jocelyn Jacks will also make a pledge to Jack Brennan. So here's what GH viewers should expect. For starts, Drew Kane and Curtis Ashford will resume their previous feud, but Drew will advise Curtis to keep Kai Taylor out of it. Curtis can tell that Kai is growing important to Trina Robinson, and anyone who is important to Trina is also important to Curtis. Speaking of Trina, she will be wary of Drew's offer for Kai, and may be concerned that he is overly optimistic about this cutting-edge operation. Kai will probably convince Trina that he is cautiously optimistic and wonder if she will agree if Portia Robinson's study proves it is legitimate. There's no disputing that this treatment has the potential to improve Kai's life by allowing him to resume playing football and restart his career. Even still, Trina may caution Kai that everything appears too good to be true, especially when unscrupulous Drew is involved. Trina and Kai will eventually encounter a surprise interruption. Drew may call to inquire about Kai's decision. However, someone else may derail their conversation instead. At Ava will visit Rick in his hospital room and ask him to wake up. Will Rick grant Ava's plea by opening his eyes and returning to her? Regardless, Ava will learn some shocking news in Friday's episode. Rick's brakes may have been cut, causing the wheels to begin turning while he was parked in Ava's place. Ava would assume Christina Corinthos Davis was attempting to ruin her automobile and accidentally grabbed Rick's, which is exactly what occurred. This could provide Ava with blackmail material, depending on what she decides to do next. Over with Lucky Spencer. He will also pay Elizabeth Baldwin another visit. Liz admits that recovering from a fractured leg will be more difficult than she anticipated. Lucky, on the other hand, may offer to look after Elizabeth and do anything he can to aid her while she recovers. Next, Carly will make an emotional plea to Jason, asking him to trust her judgment when she says Jack is not a threat to her. Jason may not see how that is possible given what happened with the polonium poisoning. Even so, Carly and Jason will eventually reconcile their differences, and Jason may choose to tolerate her romance with Brennan, at least until something dangerous happens again. Jocelyn has just reported Vaughn for making a suspicious drop-off, so Brennan will press for additional information. Brennan will question Jocelyn's account of events once she tells him exactly what she saw. Jocelyn may swear that she is telling the truth and promises to tell anyone else who needs to know. Brennan should be delighted with Jocelyn's WSB loyalty, at which point he may divulge that this was all part of her final test. This appears to be one last opportunity for Jocelyn to use her observation talents and demonstrate her WSB commitment. According to General Hospital spoilers, for stories will heat up in April, so fans can expect bold moves, big confessions, and more. Let's talk about some of the drama this month, and which characters will be most affected. 1. Lulu expresses her innermost feelings. For starters, Lulu Spencer will summon her bravery and tell Dante Falconeri the truth about her feelings. Of course, Dante already knows Lulu was about to confess her love for him before collapsing into a coma. Maxie Jones revealed that information, but Dante is unsure how Lulu is feeling right now. Lulu will change that when she admits to her lingering feelings for her ex, which may end in a heated kiss with Dante. This could even lead to Dante and Lulu rekindling their passion, but the secret she is holding could cause problems. Dante will undoubtedly feel betrayed later on when he learns that Lulu found he had another biological son and said nothing. It's easy to picture Dante arguing that Lulu should have ignored Brooklyn Quartermain and Harrison Chase's requests. In other words, while Lulu's love declaration may be beneficial this April, it may also set her up for future grief. 2. Chase and Brooklyn's failed plans. Chase and Brooklyn's dishonesty will be a problem as well. Although Brooklyn and Chase will strive to make good predictions about the future, the secret they are holding may also backfire on them. Chase and Brooklyn will make some arrangements for their future chapter during the month of April on General Hospital. Unfortunately, those ideas are likely to fail sooner or later. Brooklyn and Chase had better enjoy the calm before the storm because Dante will be furious if the buried adoption is uncovered. Naturally, the fact that Brooklyn and Dante's kid grew up to be Giovanni Gio Palmieri is another layer that will be revealed later on. 3. Trina and Kai's sultry step. We should also discuss about Trina Robinson and Kai Taylor, who are going to take a sizzling step together. Kai and Trina's passion will erupt, deepening their connection. However, Kai will be tempted to accept Drew Kane's offer to pay for his risky treatment. Trina's rising fears may produce friction between them, so stay tuned for updates on all the challenges. 4. Sunny and Natalia's romantic curveball. Sunny Corinthos and Natalia Ramirez will then encounter their own romantic curveball. Natalia's ex-husband, Jen Sidwell, is most likely to blame, as she has kept their previous relationship a secret. Sunny and Natalia are about to face some animosity, so we'll see if they crash and burn or work out their differences. General Hospital spoilers indicate that viewers will see some interesting April story developments, so remain with the ABC soap. Jason visits Lucas in the hospital. He wants to talk about Carly and the situation with Brennan, which he believes needs to end. Lucas claims that nobody forces Carly to do anything she does not want to do, and Carly believes she is accustomed to this level of danger. She's falling for Brennan, so she doesn't see him for who he is. He claims that the guy almost murdered her, and if that isn't enough to convince Carly that he's a bad guy, he's not sure what is. Carly awakens in Brennan's room to find him beaming at her. They kiss and Carly tells them they should make the most of their time together because Joss will be back soon, and Donna will be home for Easter break. Jack believes they will find time for one another and kiss again. Ezra causes a stir. Down at the restaurant, Sunny has lunch with Laura, and Ezra confronts her for eating with an alleged criminal boss. Laura reminds out that he said alleged, and Sunny tells Ezra he's being nasty. Laura claims they are eating lunch in a public setting since she has nothing to conceal, yet it really a private lunch. Ezra advises Laura to consider all the good she could accomplish if she didn't waste time on Sunny. Ezra creates a scene. Ezra flees and Laura apologizes to Sunny and describes Ezra as a jerk. Sunny agrees but thinks Ezra is not wrong. He suggests they avoid public appearances together. She claims they have no business affiliations, and she has nothing to conceal. They have a long history, their families are interwoven, and she will not deny that they are friends. Laura shifts the conversation to his brother, realizing Sunny has no idea what has happened. She tells him about Rick's and Liz's accident injuries. She informs him that Rick's injuries are critical, and he has not awoken. Sunny hopes to do it quickly for Molly's sake. Suddenly, Carly appears on Brennan's arm laughing. Emma's day at court. Gio arrives in court to assist Emma, and is perplexed as to why she did what she did given her criminal past. She said what happened in California was dumb and embarrassing, but it was for a good cause. Gio says he would have chained himself in her place, but she tears that she couldn't let him do that since it would have jeopardized his scholarship. Gio does not comprehend Emma. In the halls, Anna attempts to speak with Ada Turner on her granddaughter's behalf, and accuses her of targeting Emma, because she has an issue with her. Turner claims that this is not about who Anna chooses to socialize with. This is about Emma's perilous background. Anna is confused because she has already paid for the dorm party. Turner informs her that Emma participated in a demonstration at Berkeley's animal lab. That is what the university expelled her for, but they also sealed the records on what happened. Turner claims that when it comes to Emma, neither he nor she is sure who they are dealing with. Anna and the ADHH. Lucy calls for a vote. In the Quartermain sunroom, Lucy pitches Jens to the deception audience. Brooklyn believes they should be concerned that Jens kidnapped Sasha. Tracy adds, and the explosion. Maxie says Sasha warned her she overreacted. Lucy says that's enough for her, but Tracy doesn't trust Jens. Lucy points out that she felt the same way about Sunny, and they managed to get Natalia out of the bargain. She claims that if Erica Kane receives that Zincite, she would beat them to the punch. She requests an immediate vote to award Jens a long-term exclusive deal. Brooklyn is worried about JH. Lucy and Maxie are in, Natalia is out, and Brooklyn tentatively agrees. She wants to speak with Jens again beforehand. Tracy follows Natalia's lead and abstains, so she cannot be held responsible for the outcome. Lucy proposes they inform Jens, but Tracy says she needs to go do her civic duty. Lucy calls a vote. Jens gets visitors. Sasha comes at Windmere to visit Jens, who thanked her for speaking with Maxie. Sasha wants to make sure he does not screw over her pals and explains that, unlike her mother, she has boundaries to what she will do for money. She warns the arrangement is off if he leads her pals into any problematic situations. He claims he's merely helping her pals gain an advantage in a competitive market. When she fears he's up to something dirty, she knows someone who can keep him in check. She storms out. Sasha warns Genji. Diane interviewed a familiar face. Marco Rios arrives in Port Charles for an interview with Diane at her office. She is impressed with his resume and references and wonders why he wants to go to a new law practice and leave sunny Florida. Marco isn't really fond of corporate law, but he does appreciate the type of defense law she practices. He also represents J&S Associates, which is now situated in Port Charles, and is delighted to welcome them and others he works with to the firm. Diane is impressed when he presents her with a client list. Diane interviewed Marco. Diane informs him that he will need to interview her partner Alexis as well. He observes a photograph on the desk and inquires as to its subject. Diane claims it's Alexis's daughter Sam and his brother Lucas. Marco smiles. Diane has questions for GH. Later, Jason arrives to see Diane. To provide for Sasha's baby, he must change his will. Diane wonders who else knows the truth about Michael and the baby. Jason tells no one, even Carly, who is with Brennan. Diane points out that Carly has made horrible judgments for decades, yet he has always trusted her. What has changed? Jason claims the WSB is a world he is unfamiliar with and cannot provide Carly with the type of protection he is accustomed to. Jason is scared about GH. Jens makes a deal. Lucy, Maxie, Brooklyn, and Natalia arrive at Windermere to speak with Jens. Brooklyn inquires as to why he chooses to do business with them rather than Enchantment. Jens adds that he does not want to work in places like Landview or Pineview, and that other families like Brooklyn's have done well here. Jens makes a pitch for GH. Maxie has an appointment at General Hospital, and Brooklyn promises to keep her updated on the situation. Lucy wants to sign the agreement, but Brooklyn pulls her away as a negotiating ploy to make it appear as if they are playing hardball. Jens reveals that he has already expedited the first shipment of zincite to them, at his expense. Brooklyn claims he has a deal. The ladies signed an agreement GH. They all toast and Natalia rushes Lucy and Brooklyn out, claiming she wants to discuss numbers with Sidwell. Natalia shouts out Jens G. When they are alone, Sidwell asks Natalia what she wants to talk about. Natalia claims the contract is not yet finalized, and her partners will not sign until they know what she knows. She understands deception is a ruse for whatever he's sneaking in. She could warn them, but Jens claims they'll never trust her if they find out about their ex-partners. He argues that if she understands what's best for her, she should keep her lips shut. Emma's dark secret. Sasha and Tracy come in court for Emma's hearing. The judge reads the charges and Emma pleads not guilty. Given Emma's priors, the ADA demands that she be held without bail. Emma's attorney contends it is disproportionate for a misdemeanor, and the judge concurs. Emma's day in court. Tracy rises up and exclaims, "This is ridiculous." Monica and the Port Charles Land Trust negotiated a deal, and Boyle and the construction crew were not permitted to attend. She shows the judge the order and says it's all a waste of the court's time. The judge asks ADA Turner for her thoughts. Turner claims the order is legitimate, but Emma disobeyed the law by chaining herself to the crypt. The judge does not want to go to trial over this, so they will resolve it here and now. Emma agrees to amend her plea to guilty and offers community service, which the court approves. Anna follows Turner out of the courtroom and into the hallways. Anna is hoping for a peaceful resolution. Turner warns Emma that the atrocities she did in California will come back to harm her. Anna comes to the courtroom, and Tracy and Gio applaud Emma for her actions. They leave, and Anna reminds her granddaughter that she needs to know who her priors are. Emma cries, saying she can't tell anyone and has to sign an NDA to avoid jail. Jack is always on duty. Marco goes to the Metro Court, sits at the bar and texts Lucas. He asks whether he's in town as he's at Metro Court. Lucas is startled to get the text. It takes Lucas a while, but he comes just as Marco is about to give up. At their meal, Sonny asks Laura why Carly is with the man who nearly murdered her. Carly and Jack's table GH. Carly and Jack grab a table, and Jack receives a message. He excuses himself and heads over to Laura and Sonny's table. He begs to speak with Sonny, so they move away. Carly huffs. Jack and Sonny face off. Jack leads Sonny to the alcove and tells him about Selinsky, a contract killer who was discovered dead in his Toronto home. He preferred to utilize devices like the one that nearly killed his son,